pandemic-induced stay-at-home order has impacted you financially or not, there are some things you can do right now to make sure you keep a good financial foundation to weather future storms here. Stewart Welch from the Welch Group joins us this morning by FaceTime with some tips on that. Good morning, Stewart.
Good morning, Mike.
Before we get to that real quickly, oil traded at historic lows. Quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, so this was under futures contracts, which are actually pretty complicated. And I think like all things COVID-19, this is unprecedented. They actually traded negative. And the problem is that in a futures contract, you have to take possession of the oil, and all of the tanks are full because nobody's using oil. So they're actually those contracts have moved negative. That's unprecedented. I think the big question is, what does it mean to the public? Does it mean lower prices at the pump? There's not a direct correlation between a futures contract and gas prices at the pump. I do think the trend is that gas prices at the pump are going to drift lower. So right now they're about $1.70, I guess, and you may see them drop below $1.50.
All right, but right now we're trying to get people on better financial footing, so saving money at the gas pump wouldn't hurt. But let's talk about this real quick. One is, knowing your credit score, especially if you have a poor one, what can you do?
Yeah, so the first thing to do is to recognize there are things that you can do. And when they're doing credit scores, they take in both negative and positive information. So what you want to do if you have a poor score is you want to begin to build positive information. And there's 5 categories that they need to look at. And the first one is payment history. And that is, have you paid your bill on time? And that's actually the largest part of the score, 35% of the score. So what is critical is that if you've been late paying in the past, you need to start right now and begin paying on time. That will begin to help your score over time. So the next one is the amount that you actually owe against the amount that you could borrow. So you look at your total possibility of how much you could borrow on credit that you have, and how much of that you're actually utilizing, how much of that you're using. And ideally you want that to be 30% or less. And if it's 10% or less, that's even better. So somebody that has $100,000 of credit and is using 60,000 of that, that's actually going to hurt their score. They want to be at 30,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 or less.
Also, new credit and credit mix there, but I know a lot of people are wondering, and they see ads all the time, how can I improve my credit score? You mentioned a few there. Give us one takeaway that folks can have in the next 30 seconds here.
Well, they can play the credit card game. They go to creditkarma.com, K-A-R-M-A, creditkarma.com, and it's a free tool, and you give them your basic information. They'll give you your score, and once a month or as often as you want to, you can check that, and they'll give you tips on how to improve your particular score. Plus, they've got access to a lot of better credit cards and things like that. So creditkarma.com is a great tool to help you improve your score, Mike.
Good information this morning. Stewart Welch from the Welch Group. Always appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Well,